All right, now you can begin.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Nakisha James Prentice, and today my groupmates Atoria Marie, Zaria Juman, and I will be presenting to you via PowerPoint presentation on Chapter 13, Creating Vision and Strategic Direction, from the text The Leadership Experience by Richard DAFT. The learning outcomes to explain the relationship among vision, mission, strategy, and implementation mechanisms. Create your personal leadership vision. Use the common themes of powerful visions in your life and work. Describe 4 basic approaches for framing a noble purpose that followers can believe in. Understand how leaders formulate and implement strategy and apply the elements of effective strategy. So, my classmates, what do you all think is a vision? Does anybody have an idea of what a vision is? I know the previous group, they spoke on vision. So does anyone have an idea of what is a vision? Okay. So according to DAFT, vision is a compelling mental image of a desirable and possible future that an organization aims to achieve. It provides direction and serves as a unifying force for leaders and followers alike. Vision goes beyond strategy. It represents the dream, the purpose, and the inspiration behind action. So, in practical terms, a leader's vision answers 3 questions. Where are we going? Why does it matter? And how do we get there together? So, as custard students, does any person have a vision as a student? So, my vision as a custard student is to achieve excellence in my studies and use my knowledge to create meaningful contributions to society. Creating vision and strategic direction. Great leaders create and communicate a compelling vision that motivates people toward a shared goal. To bring this to life, I'll start with the example of aerospace engineer Bert Rutan, whose visionary leadership inspired his team to achieve what many thought was impossible: private human spaceflight. Bert Rutan, founder of Scale Composites, was deeply inspired by President Kennedy's moon mission. Kennedy's bold vision of putting a man on the moon demonstrated how a clear, ambitious goal could energize an entire nation. Similarly, Rutan envisioned making human spaceflights as common as air travel. Even though his company had only worked on low-speed aircrafts, his powerful vision motivated his team to step beyond their comfort zone. The result was Spaceship One, which in 2004 became the first privately built spacecraft to reach space, winning the 10 million Ansari X prize. Creating vision and strategic direction continued. One of the most important roles of a leader is to articulate a compelling vision that inspires people. A powerful vision not only defines what the organization aims to achieve, but also why it matters. It energizes followers, brings clarity to their efforts, and fosters teamwork toward a common purpose. As leadership expert Lorraine Monroe puts it, a leader is like a drum major, the person who keeps the vision in front of everyone and reminds them what they are working for. When people see a leader's passion, they naturally want to share that energy. It's also important to distinguish between vision and mission, which my colleague will be discussing shortly. The vision describes where the organization wants to go, the desired future, while the mission defines what the organization does every day to reach that vision. For example, Rutan's vision was to make space travel routine, while his mission involved building and testing innovative aircraft technologies to make it possible. Leaders play a central role in creating an organization's future. They not only design the strategic direction, but also communicate the vision repeatedly until it becomes part of the culture. Great leaders focus everyone's energy toward a shared goal, ensuring that employees understand how their daily work contributes to the bigger picture, as well as encouraging innovation and adaptability so that the organization can continue moving forward, moving toward the future vision. What is strategic leadership? Strategic leadership is among the most crucial issues facing organizations. It is the ability to anticipate and envision the future, maintain flexibility, think strategically, and initiate changes that create a competitive advantage for the organization. Effective leaders don't leave success to luck. They make deliberate choices that shape the organization's long-term direction. They must understand the external environment, imagine where the organization should be in 5 to 10 years, and guide others toward that future. However, DAFT highlights that many leaders get caught up in routine day-to-day operations and neglect big picture thinking. Studies show that senior executives spend less than 3% of their time on long-term strategic activities, yet no organization can thrive without a clear vision for the future. The domain of strategic leadership includes 4 key levels. 1, the vision. That's a clear picture of where the organization wants to be. 2, the mission, the core values, purpose, and reason for the existence. 3, strategy, the plan or direction for turning vision into action. And 4, architecture for alignment and implementation. This is the structure and systems and incentives that make the strategy work. Each level supports the next, creating alignment from long-term vision to daily operations. Strategic leadership, therefore, is not just about managing the present. It's about shaping the organization's future. Leadership vision. A vision is more than just a dream. It's an ambitious, credible, and inspiring picture of the future that motivates people to work towards it. It represents what an organization or leader wants to achieve, even if it's not easily attainable. Vision energizes followers by appealing to values and purpose, not just profit. For example, Stanford Obshinsky spent decades pursuing affordable solar energy, turning his once unbelievable dream into reality. Similarly, Sony's 1950s vision to change the global image of Japanese products inspired a national transformation toward quality manufacturing. Companies like Coca-Cola, a Coke within arm's reach of everyone on the planet, show how short, memorable visions can rally employees toward a shared goal. So locally, can anyone think of a vision from a company? So the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service has a vision to make every place in Trinidad and Tobago safe. That's an example of a short vision from a local, organization. Slide 9, leadership vision continued. Additionally, visionary leadership also applies beyond business. So Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech is a powerful example of using vision to inspire social change. This emphasizes personal vision, encouraging individuals to reflect on their own purpose and goals, much like organizations do, to create direction and meaning in life. Research shows that strong, inspiring vision leads to a higher organizational performance, especially under transformational leaders who express optimism and confidence in achieving a better future. A key example of personal vision is the Greater Chicago Food Depository, where leaders Michael Mulqueen and Kate Mahay shifted the organization's vision from merely feeding the hungry to ending hunger by empowering people through job training. This transformed both employee motivation and community impact. What vision does? Vision plays several key roles within an organization. DAFT identifies several critical functions of an effective vision. 1, it bridges the present and the future, helping employees understand how current actions contribute to long-term success. 2, it motivates and energizes people by giving them something worthwhile to strive for. 3, it infuses meaning into daily work by linking tasks to broader goals. And 4, it sets high standards of integrity and excellence. Vision links the present to the future. An effective vision connects the present reality with the organization's future goals. It bridges what is and what could be. It begins with understanding where the company stands today and imagining what it can become. A good local example of an effective vision that connects present reality with future goals can be seen in the National Gas Company. The National Gas Company's vision is to be a recognized global leader in the development of sustainable energy-related businesses. This vision bridges the company's current reality as a long-established organization in the natural gas sector with its future aspirations to be a global leader and to promote sustainability in energy-related businesses. So their present reality, or what is, NGC operates mainly in natural gas transmission, distribution, and processing. It faces challenges from global energy transitions and declining gas reserves, but their future goal, or what could be, is that they aim to diversify into renewable energy, reduce carbon emissions, and ensure long-term national energy security while maintaining competitiveness on the international stage. This vision connects where the company currently stands as a gas-based currently stands in Trinidad and Tobago's traditional gas-based economy to where it wants to go, becoming a diversified, sustainable, and globally recognized energy leader. For example, Microsoft's slogan, "Your potential inspires us," to create products that help you reach it, shows how current work meets today's needs while inspiring innovation for tomorrow. Leaders often face pressure to meet short-term goals, but visionary leadership requires what DAFT calls bifocal vision, the ability to handle immediate challenges while keeping sight of long-term aspirations. Successful companies like DuPont demonstrate this balance by adapting from gunpowder to chemicals and now biotechnology, showing how vision guides evolution over time. The leader's self-insight encourages reflection on 2 dimensions of visionary leadership. Creating the vision, this is imagining and engaging others in a shared future, and implementing the vision, communicating it, aligning actions, and rewarding progress. Vision energizes people and garners commitment. People crave meaning in their work, not just financial incentives. A powerful vision inspires enthusiasm and emotional commitment. People are naturally motivated to give their energy to causes they believe in, not just to increase profits or shareholder value. Leaders must therefore create visions that transcend the bottom line, connecting to core values and a sense of purpose that makes work meaningful. Henry Ford's vision for the Ford Motor Company is a prime example. He aimed to make affordable automobiles for all, improving quality of life and creating good jobs. This vision inspired his employees because it connected their work to a greater social purpose. Effective leaders energize teams by framing visions that reflect excellence, integrity, and shared values, motivating people to contribute beyond routine tasks. Vision gives meaning to work. A strong vision helps employees find dignity and meaning in what they do. When people see how their work contributes to a greater purpose, they feel pride and commitment. For example, a clerk processing insurance claims may feel detached, but one who sees their role as helping disaster victims rebuild their lives finds deeper fulfillment. Similarly, a hospital housekeeper who views her work as supporting patient recovery becomes more motivated and engaged. People are increasingly drawn to organizations with meaningful visions. They want to know that their efforts contribute to something bigger than profits. Effective leaders communicate this purpose clearly, helping employees connect their daily work to the organization's broader vision and broader mission and values. So we are all CUSTAT students here. So does anyone know what is CUSTAT's vision? Okay, so I'll give another local example. So I'll give an example of, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service vision to make every place in Trinidad and Tobago safe. So this vision statement emphasizes building trust, accountability, and safety. Officers working under this vision understand their roles as not just enforcing law, but restoring public confidence and protecting communities. Vision as a standard of excellence and integrity. DAFT indicates that vision serves as both a focus and a moral compass. He compares vision to a focus button on a camera because it brings clarity to complex, changing environments. Thus, when employees understand how their efforts contribute to the larger purpose, motivation increases. A strong vision sets high expectations, challenges people to innovate, and aligns their efforts with shared values. DAFT argues that vision frees people from the mundane and encourages them to pursue excellence with integrity. Ultimately, a powerful vision inspires people not just to perform, but to believe in what they are doing. So an example of this is Walt Disney's vision. So Walt Disney's vision for Disneyland, it exemplifies how a compelling image of the future can mobilize people. So Disney described Disneyland as a place for discovery, nostalgia, and inspiration, a showpiece of beauty and magic. Notably, profit was never mentioned. The emphasis was on purpose and shared joy. DAFT stresses that the most effective visions are shared, created collaboratively, so that employees feel ownership of the dream. A clear, inspiring vision transforms routine work into collective creativity. Common themes of vision. DAFT identifies 5 recurring themes that make visions effective. Vision has broad and shared appeal. Vision helps organizations deal with change. Vision encourages faith and hope for the future. Vision reflects high ideals, and vision defines the destination and the journey. Vision has a broad appeal. A successful vision connects with everyone in the organization, not just top leadership. Leaders must involve employees at all levels so they understand and believe in the vision. When a vision is shared and inclusive, it inspires emotional commitment and teamwork. If the vision stays isolated at the top, it often fails, as seen when ideas like Ovchinsky's solar innovation were initially dismissed until others were engaged and invested. A strong vision motivates individuals to act independently but in a unified direction toward a common goal. Vision deals with change. An effective vision drives bold and meaningful change within an organization. It gives employees a clear sense of direction, helping them navigate uncertainty and overcome fear during transitions. With a shared vision, daily decisions and actions are guided toward progress and innovation rather than maintaining the status quo. In short, vision acts as a roadmap for transformation. Vision encourages faith and hope. A strong vision inspires belief in a better future, even when it cannot yet be seen or proven. It appeals to people's emotions and deeper human needs to feel valued, purposeful, and capable of making a difference. By creating faith and hope, a leader's vision motivates commitment and action, empowering people to work toward what seems impossible. Vision reflects high ideals. Powerful visions are rooted in high ideals that uplift and inspire people. They motivate by appealing to a sense of purpose, imagination, and shared greatness. For example, President Kennedy's man on the moon vision and Ford's creation of the Taurus both represented ambitious goals that pushed people to innovate and believe in what seemed impossible. Such visions energize organizations by connecting daily work to something meaningful and aspirational. Vision defines destiny and journey. A strong vision clearly defines where the organization wants to go and how it will get there. It sets specific goals like rankings, employment rates, or innovative targets, while also emphasizing the core values and ethics that guide the journey. For example, a business school may aim for top rankings and high job placements, but also value teamwork, integrity, and student development along the way. Thus, a true vision combines results and principles, shaping both the destination and the path taken to achieve it. Vision works at multiple levels. Vision is not limited to the top of an organization. It operates at every level, from the executive team to the individual employee. When people at all levels share a vision, it creates alignment and collective motivation. For instance, the founders of Road Trip Production demonstrated how personal vision can guide one's purpose and success. So 3 graduates traveled to the United States interviewing successful leaders seeking how vision shapes meaningful lives. They discovered that success follows vision, not the other way around. Their journey inspired others to pursue careers aligned with their passions rather than simply choosing safe, conventional paths. This shows that personal vision fuels organizational vision. Leaders can also foster this alignment by encouraging team members to develop personal vision statements. When individual and organizational visions connect, employees become more motivated, creative, and emotionally invested. The concept of self-reference reinforces this idea. Each person or department naturally contributes to the overall mission when they understand and believe in the larger vision. In essence, effective leaders build shared visions by listening, connecting emotionally, and finding common purpose across all levels of the organization. I now hand you over to my teammate, Atoria Murray, who will be presenting to you today on mission.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Atoria Murray. Thank you, Nikisha, for that excellent overview of vision. And now that we clearly established the vision, my section will focus on mission. The objectives I would like to cover based on my presentation is to understand the difference between vision and mission, recognize why the mission gives meaning to an organization, learn the four frameworks for noble purpose, and to be able to connect mission, vision, and strategy. What is a vision, you may ask, and how does it differ from vision? Mission is the organization's core broad purpose and reason for existence. While vision paints the future, the dream mission explains why the organization exists. The mission is the compass that keeps the vision on course. In summary, vision is where we are going and mission is why we are going there. If your school wants to make learning fun for everyone, what could its mission be? For example, a mission for the school could have been to foster a dynamic, inclusive, and joyful learning environment that inspires every student to discover their passion, cultivate a lifelong love of learning, and achieve their fullest potential. So we understand what a mission is, but the question is, why does it truly matter? The mission defines the enduring character of the spiritual DNA of the organization and can be used as a leadership tool to help employees find meaning in their work. As the textbook highlights, just now, sorry, wrong thing. James Cullen demonstrates the importance of having a compelling mission. He contrasts Zenith and Motorola. They both began as successful television manufacturers. However, their mission was different. When technology advanced, the company never really advanced because Zenith's primary goal was to manufacture TV sets. In contrast, Motorola was dedicated to applying technology to benefit the public. They had greater space to develop and innovate because of that mission. As a result, they were able to produce microprocessors, cell phones, and other new products in addition to TVs. In other words, Motorola grew to popularity as a result of their mission driven advancement. This demonstrates how a company can develop, adapt, and maintain success over time when it has a clear and meaningful vision. Why might employees feel more motivated when they believe in their organization's mission? Employees feel motivated because the mission successfully connects their daily tasks to a bigger noble purpose. What mission does? Mission serves as the glue that holds the organization together during the time of change, defines values, and gives employees meaning in their work. It encourages loyalty, trust, and pride. As a leader, you can keep in mind what the organization stands for in a broader sense, its core purpose and values, and create the vision around the central mission. Changes to the mission are difficult. It serves as the foundation that guides decisions, unites staffs, and keeps the company stable through challenges. To see how a powerful mission directly links daily works to a meaningful, overarching goal, let's first look at the mission and focus of DuPont Canada. Their mission was to sustainable growth, increasing shareholder and societal value while reducing our environmental footprints. Their vision was to be the world's most dynamic science company, creating sustainable solutions essential to a better, safer, and healthier life for people everywhere. This applies to show how businesses really connect their mission and vision. DuPont's mission is to grow in a way that is both responsible and profitable over the long term. Now, to demonstrate how a mission becomes an enduring motivational force in a high stakes, discovery driven environment, let's turn our attention to Granitech. Granitech's purpose was to enable people to live the best possible life they can in the best possible health. Their mission was to develop life saving medicines. According to the CEO, Art Levinson, at the end of the day, we want to make drugs that really matter. This example shows how mission driven employees a sense of contributing to humanity, not just making money, but saving lives. The power of a strong mission. Research shows, based on the chapter, that 60% of employees who view mission as important are engaged. 66% who recommend their company's products, and only 0 to 10% engagement when mission feels meaningless. When people believe in their company's purpose, they work harder and stay longer. A meaningful mission increases both motivation and results. Raise your hand if you have ever worked or volunteered somewhere that felt meaningful. Framework for Noble Purpose. Exhibit 13.6 describes the four basic approaches leaders take in framing an organization purpose that helps people feel that their work is worthwhile. Leaders in any type of organization can tap into people's desires to contribute and make a difference. In addition to profit, there are four primary reasons why businesses exist, according to the Framework for Noble Purpose. It describes how managers use their goals to enable their staff and give them a sense of pride in their part of something greater. The first goal is discovery, which is all about coming up with novel concepts and producing something unique like Virgin or IBM. The second is excellence, where companies like Apple or BMW concentrate on being the best and producing high quality goods. The third is altruism, which is the act of doing good and assisting others, such as Walmart's focus on customer service. The final one, is heroism, which is about putting in a lot of effort, being productive, and reaching lofty objectives like Dell or Microsoft. All things considered, these goals demonstrate what truly driven businesses beyond profit and highlight how purpose can inspire employees and guide success. In exploring the four purposes, the four noble purposes are broken down in this slide, along with how each relates to various human motivations. Because individuals and organizations motivated by discovery enjoys experimenting with novel concepts and producing something original. Discovery is associated with both innovation and curiosity. Since excellence is about being the best and being proud of what you accomplish, it is related to pride and mastery. Compassion and service, that is, taking care of others and their needs, are linked to altruism. Heroism is also associated with competition and achievement, highlighting hard work, taking on obstacles, and succeeding. In conclusion, every purpose speaks to a distinct aspect of human nature. Excellence inspires pride, altruism inspires empathy, heroism inspires ambition, and discovery inspires curiosity. The most successful organizations or missions typically integrate all four, fusing ambition, pride, curiosity, and compassion to produce something genuinely significant. In summary, according to DAFT, each purpose type connects to human motivation discovery, appeals to curiosity, excellence to pride, altruism to empathy, and heroism to achievement. Question. Choose which noble purpose best describes your personality or dream career. I chose excellence. My dream career is to be an accountant, and the drive for excellence is essential in that field. The mission of an accountant is to provide unparalleled accuracy in financial reporting and compliance. This appeals to my motivation for mastery and the fulfillment that comes from being the absolute best at the high technical task, which is the basics of the excellence purpose. Understanding the four frameworks lead us to the final practical step, choosing a purpose. Every organization must choose what drives it. Discovery sparks innovation, excellence builds respect, altruism builds trust, and heroism builds legacy. The best mission blends all four qualities. Finally, we continue with our fourth objective, connecting mission to the next step strategy. For leaders, creating a mission statement is the first step, not the last. Here are some essential suggestions for creating and carrying out a compelling mission that directly establishes an effective plan. Number one, leaders should define mission before strategy. Number two, keep the mission short, inspiring, and action-based. Number three, reinforce it in culture, training, and decisions. And last but not least, review it annually to ensure relevance. Vision shows where to go. Mission shows why we go there. And strategy shows how to get there. In summary, a clear mission connects hearts and minds to the organization's bigger purpose. When people see meaning in their work, performance follows naturally. If you were to start your own business today, what would your mission statement be? I want to one day open a PSN business, and an example of what my mission can be is to empower self-expression by providing the safest, most precise PSN experience, grounded on compelling, sterilized excellence, and dedicated to earning the absolute trust of every client. Here brings us to the end of my part of this presentation, and now we would have Zaria carrying us through the last part of our chapter. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. So I do apologize for the chickens. I cannot help that. Right. I will go over my objectives for this evening. My objectives are to identify what is strategy, the key elements of strategy, to understand the implementation of the decision making in strategy, the leader's contribution towards strategy, leader's role in certain direction, and simulating action and vision. What is strategy? According to DAFT, strategy is a general plan of action that describes resources allocation and other activities for dealing with the environment and helping organization attain that goal. But it's also about deciding what you want to achieve and how you will use your resources such as time, money, people, and other resources to get them more effectively. Secondly, what is strategic management? Strategic management is a set of decisions and actions used to formulate and implement specific strategies that will achieve a competitive superior fit between the organization and its environment to achieve its goals. But it's also about thinking ahead, making informed decisions, and aligning each part of the organization towards its shared direction, also known as its vision. Key strategic elements are the core components that make up a good strategy that guides the organization towards its long-term goals. There are 5 fundamental elements. One being the vision and mission. The vision asks the question, what do we want to become? It is about a long-term direction and aspiration of the organization. It gives purpose and inspiration. Mission is the why the organization exists. It states the core purpose and reason for being. The mission, explains what the organization does for whom and how. Secondly, its goals and objectives. These are clear, measurable targets that translate the vision and mission into actionable outcomes. While the goals are often covered over a longer period of time, usually around 3 to 5 years, the objectives are covered in a shorter time frame in a couple of months. These goals and objectives are often they often use the SMART framework, which are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Thirdly, there is or environmental analysis. These involve analyzing the internal and external environment to identify strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Some common analytical tools used are the SWOT analysis and Michael Porter's 5 forces. These help to understand what advantages and challenges you have before deciding how to compete. Number 4, strategy formulation and implementation. The how do we get there question. This decides how to achieve objectives and gain competitive advantage. This includes resource allocations, action plans, and operational alignment. Lastly, evaluation and control. This answers the question, are we on the right track? It involves measuring performance, comparing it with goals, and making the necessary adjustments. Leader's contribution. Sorry. The leader's contribution in strategy and strategic implementation is crucial, as leaders are the driving force behind setting direction, inspiring people, and empowering strategies that exceed that are exceeded effectively. Even the best strategy can fail without effective leadership to guide, motivate, and align people and resources towards its overall organizational goals. As leaders are the visionary of organization, they are the communicators that translate strategy into clear and affordable, actionable goals. Some examples of strategic leadership contribution are people like Steve Jobs and Nelson Mandela. Why leaders are essential. Leaders are essential because they provide direction, inspiration, and coordination that enable a group, organization, or even a nation to move towards a shared goal, especially in complex and uncertain situations. Without leaders, plan can lose focus, motivation, and coherence. One, leaders provide direction and clarity. They define the vision and the mission. They also show people where to go and why it matters. This helps everyone with a sense of purpose, and it also helps to attain actions across the organization. They also inspire and they motivate. Leaders ignite purpose and build confidence in people. They help teams to believe in vision, and their ability to achieve, and their motivation turns actions into plans. They also manage and overcome resistance. In this ever-changing environment, leaders are helping organizations to adapt and transform. They often adapt to trends, guiding transitions, and reduce resistance to change. Without good and effective leadership, change can feel chaotic and threatening. Lastly, leading by examples. Leaders are essential because they set the example for others to follow. By demonstrating integrity, hard work, and respect, they can inspire their team to build trust and shape a creative but positive culture. The saying, actions speak louder than words, well, it's basically a leader leading by example. Stimulating vision and action. This refers to a leader's ability to create an inspiring picture for the future and motivate people to take purposeful steps towards achieving it. This refers This refers to a leader's ability to leaders simulate a strong vision by clearly articulating what the organization wants to become and why the organization matters. A strong vision is not only inspiring but clear and vivid, and it also creates an emotional appeal so people can feel more connected in it one way or another. Once the vision is clear, leaders simulate action by translating vision into achievable goals. It also sets priorities and empowers others to act. They also encourage innovation and take initiative and remove obstacles that may block any progress. An example of this would be Martin Luther King Jr. His vision is a nation where people are guided by character and not by color. He made powerful speeches, peaceful marches, and consistent non-violent actions. How leaders decide? Leaders decide by combining analysis, experience, intuition, and values to choose the best course of action for their people and their goals, especially when the future is uncertain. They, they start with purpose and vision, asking the relevant questions to best decide what the organization needs. They then gather and analyze information through the use of reports, feedbacks, and they also use tools such as the SWOT and the personal analysis. Leaders often use judgment and intuition because data alone sometimes isn't enough. Strong leaders seek diverse input and involves others. Last but not least, they weigh their ethics and values because true leadership is not just about what can be done, it is about what should be done. Scanning the environment. Well, firstly, what is an environmental scanning? It is the process of collecting, analyzing, and interpreting information about trends, opportunities, and threats in the internal and external environment of an organization. There are two main environments. The internal, which is inside the organization. These are factors within your control, within the organizational controls, such as the resources, the leadership style, profit and loss statements, and even employee surveys. Secondly, there is external environment. This is outside the organizational controls. This is beyond the factors that the organization cannot control. It could also affect the organization greatly. This is things like competitors, ever so often marketing trends, environmental issues, and technology and lifestyle trends. Some analysis, the two analysis that could help with the previous slides would be the SWOT analysis and the Michael Porter's 5 forces. The SWOT analysis, which stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. It helps leaders to understand where the organization stands internally and how it fits in the external environment. Meanwhile, the Michael Porter's 5 forces, this model analyze the level of competition and attractiveness in an industry. It also helps the leader understands where power lies and how to build a competitive advantage. Firstly, there's threats of new entrants, which basically means there are new competitors in the market. Secondly, there's bargaining power from buyers, which is basically the power consumers have over the influencing of price. Thirdly, there's the bargaining power of suppliers, which is the power of suppliers have over production. Fourth, the threat of substitute products, meaning the risk of consumers switching to a more cheaper and better alternative. And lastly, there is rivalry among competitors, basically the intensity of competition in the market. Balancing racial analysis with intuition. This means leaders combine logic data-driven thinking with gut feeling and experience when making a decision. Rational analysis is a leader thinking with the head, while intuition is thinking with the heart and experience. An example of this would be Ted Turner's 24-hour news network. Ted Turner is the founder of CNN. He was initially dismissed for his 24-hour news streaming, but through visionary leadership, he took his vision very seriously by taking a risk by investing millions of dollars into giving the world constant news update by combining analysis with intuition and attention to emerging social trends. He launched a successful network known as CNN. Concerning hopes and dreams. Visionary leaders look forward at their own aspirations and listen to the hopes of the followers. They create a vision that is emotionally appealing. They also motivate people to work towards a shared goal, and they also connect strategy planning with personal meaning. Leadership isn't just about managing resources, but leading people towards their hopes and dreams while grounding their dreams in strategic actions, integrating analysis and inspiration. Successful strategic decisions emerge from a balance between fact-based analysis and visionary insight. It combines rational planning with foresight, creativity, and intuition. It also appeals to both the logic, thinking of life, and the emotional aspect. It also provides strategies that are realistic, innovative, and inspiring. Last thing I'd like to talk about is leaders' impact. Leaders, the leader's impact refers to the effect a leader have on people, strategy, and organizational outcomes. The leaders play a crucial role in shaping an organization's future by linking the vision and the strategy. Strategic thinking planning by leaders have shown to significantly improve a company's performance and profitability, with studies showing up to 44% variance amongst major companies is due to strategic leadership. Continuing, more recent studies emphasize the importance of top leadership teams rather than individual leaders. Team characteristics such as size, diversity, skills, and attitude influence communication, collaboration, and ultimately organizational performance. In complex environments, leadership teams are better equipped to interpret a challenge, develop strategies, and build internal capabilities based on shared vision and employees. Now, thank you. To summarize this entire presentation, the vision describes where the organization wants to be in the future, while the mission explains the organization's purpose, and the strategy is implemented to put in place by leaders to turn plans into results. Thank you all for listening. If you have any questions, we would love to answer them at this time.